we're just having a little road trip to down the road, tipping some silage. Silage tipping. Out of interest, there is a machinery sale at Penrith today. Silage trailer, an S85, the same as this, but with the built-up sides on it. I'd just like to see how much it makes, really, to be honest, out of pure nose. That is good barley. The embarrassment of winter, that's reprieving itself. No, it's had reprieve. What's the word? I'm getting it wrong. Had a reprieve. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Did you see me? Did you see me? Did you see me? So, just when we're on the way, and I said about the trailer that had the back door and silage sides on, here is the back door and silage sides. They've just been in this position for the last God knows how many years since we got the trailer. Don't use them. Friends waving at each other. Me and Roy are just collecting troughs up. Cows do not mix with any kind of sheep equipment whatsoever. Creep feeders, bowls, buckets, troughs, nothing. They will just wreck it for the crack. That's what cows do. They eat to break stuff. While the sheep think they're being fed, they're not. We are actually collecting the troughs and shifting them out of this field because we need to come in and put some slurry on, because they are, as you can see, eating it bare. But until we've got silage off, we're quite limited as a grazing platform. Once we've taken crop off, it'll be fine. We'll be able to move them around a lot more. Really won't get this because we're not going fast enough, but there's two Spitfires just gone. There they are. Aviation update, Spitfires. If you look down here, that's very minimal. Time this gets lifted up, it has a tiny leak on the ram and it squirts a bit of oil out. Hence why we're always kind of needing a little bit of oil somewhere. You're always just, every implement takes a bit, doesn't it? So I'll just, oh God. I think I'll just, my elbow, oh. I think I'll just blow it out with the airline. It's a bit, you know, I didn't even touch it. What was going on there? Woo! Let's not spill it because it's not cheap. There. Looking too healthy. It's not looking too healthy, so we're gonna have to stick that in there. I go and slip out the door before you see my face. I'll slip out the door before you see my face. But it didn't mean you didn't matter to me. Like taking steps is what I had to do. The oil looks like that. It's about there on the outside. There's a little hole. This here. Where's the little there it is. A little copper. That goes in there. Stick that in there like that. You do not want that falling out. Stick the pin back in, which was in the way. That is why you don't have a leaky trailer. Okay, so I once did a video about these arms. They got seized. I'll show you where. Shoulder. Ew. That's depressing, isn't it? Oof. They got seized down here. That wouldn't move. It was completely static. And there, that ball. What are you going to do to help the situation? Huh? Just gotta be cute, are you? just gonna be cute, are you? Yes, I am, thank you. This amazing video, right, where the dog's in a trailer. The dog's in a trailer. It's cute. We unstuck it, and we got the bobcat, and they were proper seized, and we couldn't do anything about it. And we wanted to put the saw bench on to move it down the road to Roy's brother's house. That's why we'd never really want them that narrow anyway. And we tried to move them out, couldn't. We ended up getting the bobcat and bashing the arms. Oh, it was amazing. It was a proper good video. I reset my phone at night and lost it all. I was so upset. So upset. And then on, we have, if I can fit down here, kept everything very, very greasy. So, this is my man basket. We'll not talk about it. From now on, it will be known as my he, she, they, them basket. So the pallet forks are locked onto the merlot. The he, she, they, them basket reaches all the way through, as you can see, as the rules state, and is also locked on. 2 people have to be using this at all time, 1 in the bottom, 1 in the top, and it is to be used for emergency work only. Now, this is so sketchy, honestly so sketchy. Now, this is not a shitty made piece of equipment. Down, please. Thank you. Slave. So, this is a safety rail for harness. Now, I was speaking to somebody who actually works in health and safety last night, which was quite interesting, at the park with the children. And they work on like platforms, doing lights, speed cameras, that kind of thing on the highway. And he was saying, yes, the rules do state that you need to wear safety equipment, so a safety harness if you're above 6 meters, I think he said. So that is what it can lift plus how high it can go. That would not apply for a normal merlot because it has a longer boom. It has operators rules, very interesting. There you go. It also has load tested, checked, serial numbers, weight, capacity, how many people you can fit in it. It says it can fit 2 men, but obviously there's only me and Rose, so it would only ever fit 1. Centre of gravity, where that's at, and the date of manufacture. So it states on the health and safety website, which is honestly, it's so sketchy, it's unreadable, it's crazy. If you've ever tried to read it, it's just ridiculous, because I did try to read it, obviously, because I'm putting myself on the internet, sensible to do things right, and obviously not get up and be silly in it like I did the other day. I do have a harness on the way. I don't even know what the rules are, to be honest, the proper rules around wearing it are. I'll have to have a look, but they're not easy to follow. So it says you cannot use this for planned work. So my roof sheets have broken. That's emergency work, but also we bought it for that purpose, so it's planned work. Now, if I buy a harness, or have bought a harness, if I buy a harness to use this, that is implicating me to say that I had planned to use it, so that I'm not allowed to use it. It also says your pallet forks should go, I think it was something like 70% of the way through the actual man basket. Well, obviously ours do, because you've seen them poking out of the other side. And they should be locked in, which they are. You've just seen me putting the pins in. It should also have a kickboard all the way around. I don't know what the reason for that is. I think it's possibly tripping or that you can't fall off it. Absolutely fine. And it should also have a door to get in and out of. Also said something about non-slip floors that drain themselves. So obviously it's not standing in water. That is a non-slip floor. And I presume, I do presume it drains itself. It's not been wet yet to test that theory out. Like the actual, if you go on the internet and try and read the rules, just, it's crazy. I'll put a link in so you can have a look and see if you can make head and a tail of them. So it is it doesn't say that it's the law, but it's sensible advice to be followed, basically. And a lot of it is about the competence of the driver and the operator. And I don't know how competent you think Roy is or I am. So I'm not going to not show it you because that's just stupid, but actually admitting that you have one and that you plan on using it seems to go against the rules, even though it says that you can use it for emergency use, like them broken roof sheets there. I don't know. I'm sure you'll all tell me though. And in all honesty, I have actually, Merloo, hold on, let me walk back this way. Apparently Merloo are the only machine where the only telehandler that has the capabilities of a control box to control the boom while you are in the air. Now, this would make it very much like a cherry picker, which is what you're meant to use to do buildings. So if you read the rules properly, a telehandler, JCB, Merloo, whatever, with a man basket on, is not legal to do buildings. You shouldn't be lifting people up in that. The controls should always be at the top of here so that if anything happens to the man in the cab, you can always get down. Or if anything happens to the person in the basket, there's always should be two people operating it. But the controls should be in here, which is just crazy. So this little box here, do you remember when Ollie told me to take it off? This is the control box for a set of controls that you will be able to use to control the boom. Now, I've emailed Merloo to ask for a price on one, and then I spoke to Ollie yesterday and he said, actually, I don't think it's a retrofit thing. I think when the Merloo goes through the factory, they put like literally an extra 10 grand's worth of kit on it to make that possible. And obviously that wasn't a specification that we used when we bought it. But it'd be interesting to see what they come back with anyway. So I did ask for a price on one just to see, because that would mean that you couldn't just use it for emergency work. You could use it as a working platform. Yeah, a MOOC, Roy called. MOOC platform, raises platform, yeah. So yeah, that is my very brand new he, she, they, them basket. I thought it was safer, we thought it was safer as a couple than a bucket or a tatey box, or someone had suggested, why don't we just cut up an IBC? And actually, no, I considered this here. When I got the Merloo and I realised that the jobs that we wanted to do, limbing trees, cleaning gutters, fixing roof sheets, putting lights up, etc., we couldn't do. But don't get me wrong, that's probably like just as well made. It's an IE stillage, and it came when the handling system came, and it's actually damaged here. Can you see? It's fixable, but it's damaged there. And the fella said, it's broken, they won't want it back, do you want it to leave it? And we said, hell yeah. And anyway, we just store posts in it and we carry it around the fields when we're doing fencing. But we have a friend, well, not a friend, to be honest, we knew someone who had a really old house, and they had a banister 3 floors up. It was crazy. And that banister was probably about as high as this. And obviously, how dangerous is that? It's crazy. They love to criticise everyone else, but seriously. That there is not the right height for one. And now I could have put an extra bar on. It would have been doable, but it's not been load tested. It hasn't had all this centre of gravity business done. And it's slightly wider than that, which would make it wider than the machine that it was being used on, which is not within the rules. So yeah, pretend we never made this video. I don't have one. I'm not planning on using it. I haven't just bought a harness to go in it. Definitely haven't just shown you anything to do with it. I admit no liability whatsoever. But then again, where do you stand? Because we don't have employees. There's just me and Roy. It's us on our farm. Where do you stand in that respect? It's such a grey area, isn't it? It's such a grey area. I could understand if you were employing people and you were aiming for other people to go up in it that you were paying. That's a different thing altogether. But actually, when there's just us two, I really don't know what the rules are. We're adhering to them anyway, sort of. So really, it all comes down to whether or not you think that Roy's competent. Well, I can tell you. Look at this. Roy's done like a bucket safety system. So health and safety conscious right now. The buckets will not fall over like yesterday. Nice hat.